Okay, this is my show. It's called Cultura, and it's just a series of works that I've created kind of that were influenced by the social events that were going on while I was creating them. They were created within the last couple of years, very tumultuous time in American social history. So anyway, this one I could consider the focal piece of the show, called Pronouns, and it's it's influenced by a sculptor that I studied for a while back when I was in college, Joseph Bayers, and he did a sculpture of a man being kind of engulfed or swallowed up by a tube or a log sort of structure. So I kind of took that and went with it. It has to do with, here's the female on this end and here's the male on this end, and they were kind of being, kind of tormented by the duality of it. And then on the walls, these various digital images, kind of like saying, well, you're a man and you're a woman, but we're all the same on the inside. We're all skeletons. But then if over there on that wall, there are two skeletons, one's a male and one's a female. And then over here on this wall is another one that just kind of is testament to the fact that we're all skeletons on the inside and we're all similar, but yet we're different. And you can take that as a pro or con to values of sexuality you feel. In this area over here, I've got another piece, kind of a statement about separation of church and state. I call it church and biology, I call it church organ. And it's just, again, made out of found objects, pieces that I've had laying around my studio. I got these from a community college's biology department through an auction. And it just kind of goes to the states, there's a difference between what the church says happened and what may have happened in science. Whether you believe one thing or another, it's open to interpretation. This one over here, I call portable fetus. And it kind of speaks to the fact that abortion and fetus and baby and women's rights and all that stuff has been such a political football in these past couple of years. It seems like anytime any sort of candidate wants to prove a point or get elected or make a point with his constituents or her constituents, they bring out abortion or fetus issue. So therefore, portable fetus. These are just kind of fun, kind of nonsensical three-dimensional slab projects made out of clay. Call them pagodas. I've done a whole series of these, and you can see them kind of scattered around. They're more architectural and just have kind of a decorative flair. This was an ArtPrize last year, and this was a digital piece that I had printed in multiple panels. It was on display. And this one may or may not be involved in the show if I get it in ArtPrize or not, but it's already been displayed in ArtPrize. But it's just a nice piece, and it kind of goes with the rest of the show, so I thought I'd include it. Here, this piece I call Huge Ass Chain, and it's just a big chain, and it has kind of two meanings. One, it's kind of nonsensical, the way that it's packaged, and if you were going to ship a chain or package a chain, you wouldn't put it in a long skinny box, you'd put it in a barrel or a crate or something like that. So it's kind of, nonsensical. But on the other hand, it also represents the chains, the bad deeds that we've done throughout our life that we have to drag around with us year to year, similar to the Christmas Carol. And then over here, these are just, I call this mid-century modern. Kind of goes through the period, my favorite period in American architecture and art. So it's each one of these coil pieces are demonstration pieces that I made in my ceramics class. Each one of these pieces represents one ceramics class that I taught, and I thought it'd be kind of a neat way to display them with multiple colored boxes, kind of a tribute to Montreal. More of the pagodas here. These again are just like large demonstration pieces that I made in my ceramics class, and they're here just to kind of as a decorative element. Over here, we have this one's called Stop It. It's just a found object sculpture. Jesus is looking down on you, kind of making sure that you're doing everything right and kind of, keeping track of the things that you're not doing right. So that's, again, just found object sculpture. I got this out of a thrift shop, and I kind of made this kind of altar piece out of just found objects I had around my studio. More slab projects, more pagodas. I call this one Godzilla and that one T-Rex. They just have they kind of reminded me of those two characters, so that's a. This one is, again, found object sculpture. It's kind of reminiscent of the Holocaust, images of the concentration camps, but of course it's in tune with the what's going on with the immigrants and deportation and things like that. So here's this family destitute, kind of being shuffled around like so much baggage on a baggage cart. Another pagoda over here, and it's just, again, more of a decorative thing. And then finally these pieces over here. I call this one Aztec, and it just has kind of, it kind of reminds me of, the Aztec culture and how it kind of fell as a result of gold and the world's want for their gold. And then finally this one here, I call this one Prayer Shack, and it just kind of mimics the kind of drive up little, you would call them little prayer shacks that you see along some of the roads in rural America. I know there's a couple of them around where I live. That's what made me do it. And that's it.